All right, so it looks like UFC 300 has finally been fully put together and announced. Um, Dana announced the main event, and I was a little confused because he did say on a podcast that he still has two fights to announce, the main event and the co-main. And I guess he just couldn't put together the co-main and just settled for the women's fight to be the co-main. And yeah, he announced the main event, and it looks like the card is put together and ready to go. So there's been a lot of debate on it, whether it's an amazing card, a decent card, or a trash card, whatever. And so I want to kind of get to the bottom of it and just give my own thoughts on it, if it's good or not. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so we got the tier list here and we're going to rank each and every fight. And I'm going to give you my thoughts. So first one, we got Bobby Green and Jim Miller. Um, I'm not sure if this is starting off the card, but if it is, that's a really good fight to start it off with. That's what it said on the website. This is the order it was put in. So, yeah, I really like this one. Obviously Jim Miller, like that's the story here. He was on UFC 100, UFC 200, now UFC 300. He's like friggin' 50 years old. He's still good at fighting. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure everyone wants to see him win. I definitely do. And I like the Bobby Green matchup because I think he has a good chance against Bobby. Because Bobby nearly just got killed by Jalen Turner. He's making a pretty quick return off that brutal knockout. So, yeah, I really like this fight actually. The odds are good too. Jim Miller's an underdog, and I think he has a really good chance for all the bettors out there. So, yeah, I'd throw this one in the decent category. Like, I'm not ecstatic about it. It's not one of those crazy barn burners, but I think it's going to be a good fight, and I'm excited to watch Jim Miller win. I'm going to be cheering for him. So, yeah, this is a good one. Next one, we got Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. This is definitely a good women's fight for sure. Andrade is always exciting. Rodriguez is an exciting contender on the rise, and it's a pick 'em. It should be a good fight, even fight. Yeah, I like it. UFC 300 caliber, maybe not the best, but it's a good fight. You can't really be mad at it. Um, I'll throw it in the mid. I'll definitely watch that one. I'm not going to skip it, like a lot of other women's fights. Anyway, next one. Sodiq Yusuf versus Diego Lopez. Yeah, this is a good one too. This is just going to be a good fight. It's pretty much guaranteed. Two guys that are, as of recently, have been really exciting, and they're starting to build a fan base. For the hardcores, especially, they're going to like this fight a lot. The casuals, they're probably not going to care so much, but yeah, Diego Lopez, he's one of those guys that like just gets that respect even when he loses. Like his run has just been really good, and yeah, I really like this one. It's going to be exciting. Not quite great though. I'll throw it in the decent just because both their names aren't that big yet. They're going to keep growing. This is Diego Lopez's chance to crack into the top 15, so should be a good one. Next one, we got Holly Holm and Kayla Harrison. Yeah, this one is one that has a lot of mixed feelings, and I'm on the side of don't really like it. Kayla Harrison debut. I mean, it is a good. It's the only exciting thing about this fight. I just wish they didn't give her Holly Holm. I mean, they're still latching on to her name from like 10 years ago when she knocked out Rousey. I mean, like she's 40 now. She's a lot slower. She's a lot worse. But she's still number 5 in the division, so that's the thing. Kayla has a chance to like really break into the top 5, so that's good for her. But I wish they gave her like a one of those scrappy girls, to make it a good fight. 'Cause I don't know if this is going to be a really good fight, but yeah, I mean, I'm debating between mid and pretty boring. I'm going to throw it in the pretty boring. I'm just not excited for this one. I could easily skip this. I mean, I don't really care. Kayla Harrison's exciting, but yeah, against Holly Holm. I mean, she's probably supposed to win. It's one of those. So not too excited for that one. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to, I don't know if this is the first fight of the main card or the last fight of the prelims. I don't know, but or maybe the second last. Yeah, because these two, and then this is the main card. Yeah. So we got Figgy versus Garbrandt. Yeah, this is a good one too. Figgy's debut at bantamweight. I like that he's moving up. I think it's smart. The matchup, though, I mean, Garbrandt obviously has a big name, former champion, but as we know, like he has the most suspect chin. Not even suspect. He just has a bad chin. One of the worst chins in the UFC. And despite him winning his last two, I think, like he can just get caught at any point. And now that he's fighting a guy like Figgy, there's a very, very good chance he's going to get knocked out. So that's the thing. I mean, I don't think it's going to be very competitive. It is pretty exciting, though. Two big names. But as for the competitiveness in the fight, I don't think it's going to be there. I think it's a pretty easy fight for Figgy. You just got to catch him. At the same time, though, like Garbrandt's offense is amazing, but his defense is just like terrible. Like he can get caught at any time. So that's the thing. So again, I put it in the decent category. It's just almost that great. If Figgy was fighting a more competitive fight, I probably would put it in great, but Garbrandt, I mean, he's on the downslide, so I'm never too excited to watch his fights. But I like it. For this far down on the card, it's a good fight. Moving on, we got the Bo Nickel Cody Brundage fight. Again, it's always exciting to see Bo in action, but I mean, for UFC 300, I wish this is the time, like for this card, this was the time to give him someone challenging for once. Like Brundage, again, I feel like he's just going to run through him. Like he's been losing recently. I feel like this is going to be one of Bo's easier fights, I believe. For sure. I mean, Brundage has some good wrestling, sure, but like, come on. I mean, I don't think it's going to be close. Maybe I'll get proven wrong, but yeah, I mean, it's good to see Bo. It's good to see him grow, but like, I'm just really not excited for it. Just another one of those fights where he's going to run through them. He's a minus 1450 favorite. Like, you can't bet on it. It's not exciting. You pretty much know what's going to happen. I'm actually going to put this one in the mid category. I was going to put it in decent, but I'm more excited for all these three fights more than this one because the competitive factor. It's not going to be competitive at all, in my opinion. So, yeah, not really a fan of this fight. I wish they would have gave Bo. Maybe give him someone in the like rank 15, 14. I think it's that time. I think he's ready for it. At the same time, though, a lot of people say like he only has a few fights in the UFC and a few fights in MMA in general. So I get that. You want to build his experience. So yeah, I'm not too mad at it, but Brundage, I don't know. He's on like a 3-fight losing streak, I think. He might have won his last, but he's been losing a lot recently. I wish they would have gave him someone. It can be someone that's low, but a little more competitive. Like give him someone who's on a little winning streak. But yeah, moving on. Now this is the main card, I think. So we got Calvin Kattar and Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain moving up, making his debut at featherweight. I like that for him. I think it's a good move. I do like this fight. It's been growing on me for sure. But like at first I was saying like I don't know why they'd give him Kattar. Like maybe they could have given him someone else. But the more I think about it, the more I actually like it. This is a classic like striker versus grappler matchup. Calvin's ranked number 8. The odds are pretty much a pick 'em. Yeah, I'm excited to see Aljamain at a weight where he's not sucking down and suffering. I think it'll be good at featherweight. new contender. Volk just lost, so you never know. Aljamain gets a win. He's right up there. I like it. So, um, great or decent though. That's the. I want to put it in great. Like I said, this fight really grew on me. I think it's going to be an exciting one. I like watching Aljamain fight. He's a really good grappler. Those guys are exciting. It's good to see Cater back in action. So yeah, it should be a good one. Moving up the card, we got Yuri Prohaska and Alexander Rakic. Again, it's kind of a theme with this card. Yuri coming off a loss, returning, giving him Rakic. I mean, number 5, Rakic is coming back as well. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think you could have gave Yuri someone a little more exciting, just because it's UFC 300. Like, you got to make this exciting. It's once in every 8 years, these 100 cards. So again, this is a good fight for any other card, but for UFC 300 standards, I think it's a little whatever. I like to see him fight someone a little more exciting. I mean, but you never know. I mean, I haven't watched Rakic too much, but to my knowledge, he just leg kicks a lot and tries to stay on the outside. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna put this one in decent, almost great, but I like that Aljamain fight a lot better. I think they dropped the ball on that one a little bit. So yeah. All right. Now we got Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian. I think I speak for all of us. I can just put this right here. I mean, this is an amazing fight. Number 1 versus number 4. These guys are both coming off destroying Beneil Dariush. Sorry, Beneil. But yeah, I mean, Arman is the only guy to give Makhachev a run for his money. And Oliveira, obviously, is probably the most exciting guy in the division. Was champ for a long time. Number 1 contender fight. Winner of this pretty much is almost guaranteed to get the next title shot. Maybe Gaethje if he wins too. They're fighting on the same card. So yeah, I just absolutely love this fight. Yeah, probably the fight that I'm most excited for on this card. Sucks that it's 3 rounds though. This should definitely be a 5-rounder, but yeah, super excited. I mean, this is just 2 guys at the top of their division, amazing skills, guaranteed to be an exciting fight. Super excited for it. Amazing. Moving up, we got Justin Gaethje, speaking of him, versus Max Holloway. And yeah, this is one that's kind of grown on me a little too. When it first got announced, I was like, oh, Gaethje's just going to destroy him. I feel bad for Max, shades of Tony versus Gaethje. And that still could very well happen. But again, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, man, this is an exciting fight. And Holloway just doesn't have much left at featherweight, I think. I mean, lost to Volk twice. I mean, maybe that Volk's not champion, he could get back in there, but I do like the move up to lightweight. I don't know if it's just a one-time thing or if he's going to stay there or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of the way I look at this is just, volume versus power. I still am very scared for Max Holloway. Justin's a pretty healthy favorite, which I do agree with, but you never know what can happen with Max, It's a 5-rounder. He has lots of experience, and yeah, I'm excited for it for sure. How can you not be? Again, the fear for Max is not going to go away. I mean, just even his last fight versus Korean Zombie, he was getting tagged a little bit. I know he knocked him out, but he is tough, and he's never been knocked out. I don't think he's ever been finished. He has a chin of steel, but if there's someone who can crack his chin, it's Gaethje. So that's why I'm scared. But yeah, I am really excited to watch this fight. But yeah, just because of I don't know. This is one where I'm torn, but I think I'm gonna put it in grade actually. This one I think is just more competitive and two guys at the top of their division. And this one, it's like Max moving up. I don't think he. I know I just said I like to move up to lightweight, but he's not really like a big featherweight though. At the same time, like I think Justin's gonna have some serious size on him. He's right skinny. He's tall, but he's just really skinny and doesn't have a lot of power. I don't know. It's going to be tough for him to finish Gaethje, I think. But yeah, I'll put it above this one at grade if I can do that. Yeah, so I'll put it above that. It's right on the cusp of amazing, but yeah, I don't know. Just not competitive enough for me. At least I don't think. That's my prediction. But I'll definitely be on the edge of my seat watching that though, so I can't complain. All right, moving up, co-main event. We get the women's fight, title fight. Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, if that's how you pronounce their names. Two Chinese women. This one, I just don't know why they wouldn't put it on a China card. I mean, it kind of makes no sense. Uh, Weili is very exciting to watch. Um, probably the most exciting women's fighter, or at least one of them. Um, but like, I don't think it's going to be that competitive. I mean, Yan is a good fighter. Her fight versus Mackenzie Dern, she did really well. But I think Whaley's just on another level. I don't think it's going to be that competitive. So, yeah, I'm not very excited for this one. Yeah, I'm throwing it in mid. I'm just not that excited. All that build up, co-main event, like whatever. I could easily not watch this one. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. Now we got the big main event that was recently announced. There was a lot of anticipation for this, and I'm a little disappointed by it. But don't get me wrong, it is an amazing fight, skill wise, and just like two guys that are going to scrap. You know that. But it's like, we just saw Yuri and Alex. Is this going to be much better than that? I mean, Jamal Hill returned. It's exciting. Is Jamal Hill a guy that should be headlining this card? I mean, definitely not. I'm sure their hands were tied and this was kind of a last resort. I like Pereira on there. I mean, he's always exciting. One of my favorite fighters to watch for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good fight. There's probably going to be a knockout. But it's no Connor. It's no Izzy and Pereira rematch. But what can you do? I mean, they're probably their hands are probably tied. They're probably scrambling to get this done. So I'm not too mad at it. Little let down, but just the timing of everything. Like everyone's either out or injured or just fought. So it's tough. I mean, I wish they could have got Connor on here or something and had this as a go main event, but it is what it is. It's going to be a barn burner of a fight, and I'm excited for it. Uh, just the fact that Pereira's in it. I mean, you gotta love watching Pereira, you know. And Jamal Hill's back. We'll see how he is. Yeah, so I can't be mad at it. I'll throw it in amazing. Just fight wise, like style wise, skill wise, all that. It's pretty much guaranteed to be a good fight. So I can't be mad at it. So my overall thoughts on UFC 300 is, um, expectations wise, I'm a little let down. Like I said, this is a card that happens every like 8 to 10 years. Like every 100 cards, this is what happens. So, uh, you know, I think they could have done a little better, or at least tried a little harder. I mean, I know UFC 200 ended up flopping, and there was replacements and stuff, but I mean, it was supposed to be Brock Lesnar and then Conor McGregor. Like they stacked it to the brim. They tried to before everything got canceled and people got injured. And with this, I don't know. I mean, they definitely could have done a lot better. But can you be mad at this? Not really. I mean, we're all going to watch it. Let's be honest. We're all going to watch it from the prelims to the main event. So Can't be mad. Overall, I'd rate this card like a 7.5, 8 maybe. Obviously, I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be excited, so yeah, it is what it is. And this is my tier list. So nothing in terrible, which is good. I like that. And yeah, so I'll be watching it. I'm sure you guys will too. So yeah, thanks for watching. Love ya.